Okay, so we're back with another installment of AMA. Usually with AMAs, me and Madison take fan questions, but we did something quite special. We got the founder of Illusionist, Brad Christian. For the first time, he's broken his silence since Ninja 2. The man, the myth, the legend, he's back. So, we were inundated with questions. I'll start off with Reese Cunningham that just starts really simple. Brad, he says, how are you?
Complicated question. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm rolling along. I'm having fun.
Card Move says, what made you want to become a magician? Like, what was the driving force behind that?
I became a magician twice. One when I was about 6, and then again when I was 10 years later, when I was 16. When I was 6, I got a magic kit, learned all the tricks to perfection, went to school for a show and tell, did it for the whole class, and they promptly mobbed me at the end of my show, found out how everything worked, and I vowed to give up magic forever. I walked away from it instantly.
You were a broken man.
I was a broken man. And then when I was 16, I had just come back from Africa. I lived there for 3 years, and they had the first Doug Henning special on back then, and the people that we were staying with were like, "Oh, we're gonna watch this. Doug Henning's incredible. You got to see it." And I'm like, "I used to be a magician. I'll figure out everything. I'll figure out everything in a New York minute. What are you talking about? Oh my God, so boring." So they hauled me in at 8 o'clock. The big special starts.
Yeah.
And from the minute I started watching it, I was completely. Doug Henning, truly brilliant. And if you ever get a chance to see his first special, definitely you can. The only place you can get it that I know of at this point is the Sam Library has it, and you can rent it. You can literally rent it. The guy is unbelievable for what he does, and I was so fascinated that that's all I wanted to do from that point on.
I think everyone's got that story of that one person that inspired them. But I remember when you said to me that Doug Henning was the guy, I hadn't even heard of him up until that point.
Mm.
So a lot of people watching this might not know who Doug Henning is, but it's worth going back. It was for me definitely to go back and see, how good a performer can get.
Yep.
So
you went? You went back?
Yeah. I don't want to reveal my sources because a lot of people might be like, "Oh, you didn't, did you?" But it rhymes with PooTube. You can find you can find clips there if anyone wants to.
Do they have his whole first special?
No,
his first NBC special.
No, not on there.
With Bill Cosby. He had Bill Cosby and a couple of people. Bill Cosby co-hosted the show. He was like the comedy relief. He wouldn't be comedy relief now, of course, but
back in the day. Back before his name was ruined.
Back in the day before he ruined his own name.
I know, yeah.
Anyway, what's next?
So Herbert says, Brad, when is Ninja 3 coming out?
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You promised it. You promised the people, and then they're not going to let it go.
We've tried. We back when Brumbelow worked for the company, we tried to kind of film Ninja 3 in a very casual way, and it was a mishmash of footage. A lot of it was good. The content was good, but here's the problem with Ninja 3, and I'll be very honest with you. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and if I'm going to do Ninja 3, it will take me a stupendous amount of work because I'm not out there like URG or like Lloyd is or like Madison or, I'm not out there continuously performing, and I would want to completely grease the wheels. I'm a practice fanatic. I would want to go through everything, and I would want to have any ring rust, so to speak, worked out, by performing for a ton of people before I got in front of the camera and taught it. That would be the only way that I could justify it, and that's a tremendous amount of work. And I've got my eyes on different things that I'm doing right now rather than that. I'm not really in the teaching game. Anyway, so it's not an impossibility or pieces of it, but I just want you to know that that's what I'm dealing with.
I think a lot of people are going to respect that as well, because some people think that projects and tricks are like slapdash, that sometimes we just put something out, it's like filmed, but there's a lot of time and effort and practice that goes
Yeah.
into those big projects that you need to be focused for months and years to be as good as you can be for those things, because
Yeah.
those things end up being timeless.
Yeah. You got
But
to give it the due.
just found out, by the way, just did a quick little Google. Doug Hennon's special is on YouTube for anyone that's watching this that does want to jump
Which
on.
one? Which one?
It says NBC Doug Hennon on Broadway TV special. Is that the first one? Where the lady vanishes on stage?
He had several. Does it say any of the tricks that were on it? Because I could tell you I know everything.
No, there's actually Doug Hennon World of Magic.
Send me a link.
I'll
Pop
send you
it
a
in
link
Skype. Let me look.
Do you remember the opening credits?
I probably would. Send the link. I'll pop it on and I'll tell you if that's it. There you go. Tell you right now.
If this is the one, by the way, we'll leave a link for everyone below so that you can.
Yeah, I remember this one with the motorcycle. I think this was like maybe his second one. Let me just see. If you don't see Bill Cosby on there with Doug doing a whole bunch of close-up magic and stuff, yeah, that one's not it. I wonder if it is there, though. Here's a different one, World of Magic. Let's see. Oh, Glenn Campbell, this. That's not it either.
No.
But you can get an idea. He's very good at close-up magic, too. Very, very good. Beautiful. He does a bunch of stuff with cigarettes and making things disappear and restore itself, etc. If I find it by the time we put this AMA up, we can put the link in the.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think people enjoy that.
Yeah.
Dave Bennell says, "What makes you smile?" So it's kind of like a deeper question.
That's deeper.
Yeah, what makes you smile?
That question makes me smile. What makes me smile?
What do you for me, it's a sausage dog. When you see like a dachshund just loving his life, it's like you can't help but smile.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if we're Facebook friends, right, G?
Yeah,
if you look at my my Facebook, I post a ton of these animal videos that really make me smile and laugh.
Yeah.
So much so. Some of these Trump videos that have come out too. There's a great one that the Norwegians did. Google, it's on my Facebook, Norwegian, and they literally got someone to imitate Trump, and then trying to tell Trump why they're the right candidate for him to like them, and it's so funny. But that kind of thing, I love Facebook videos and stuff like that. What's next?
Tom says, "How did you get the awesome crew members you have now to join Illusionist? How did you get those people to join?"
That is a matter of, it just kind of happens organically. It really does. Either I hear about somebody or someone else on the team hears about somebody. Gee, you had just, you were about to have a trick go live.
Yeah.
And we were looking for a marketer. It was good. We've had the worst luck with marketers. And so we interviewed you kind of on the spot. I'm like, get him on Skype. Let's talk to him. What does he do? What have you done before, et cetera, et cetera. And then, bam, both Adam and I got a good feeling, It's
you were wrong.
And we've been dead wrong ever since. Dragging your ass around.
That's like, should never hire. Yeah, that's great.
And then, Madison just came at the right time, and Chris Ramsey, just at the right time. Someone will put it out to someone in Illusionist and we'll hear about it, and then they'll come to me and I'm like, well, what do they do? Let's have a look at them, or I will already have known them. And then we just have a serious talk, and sometimes there'll be like 3 or 4 people like grilling them over Skype, but that's how usually we, or we see them in a forum talking, or like, wow, they're really handle themselves well, and and let's see if they're available for this.
So I get this question all the time, and this leads on perfectly from this. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually wrote a blog post on it because I was furious by like people thinking I'm ignoring their question. How do you get to work in magic? How do you get to work for Illusionist? It's everyone's, well, not everyone's, but it's a lot of people's dream to be a part of that team dynamic, and they constantly ask, how do you even get there? So, what advice would you give? What would you be looking for as as a CEO, if you could give advice to them as to maybe get them in the team one day? What do they need to be doing?
It takes a few things. It would take a very strong desire, and to let your desire be known. But then you got to have some skill to back it up. You've obviously got to be good at magic or some facet of magic, you know. But you've got to be good at, business as well. Business, marketing, visual arts. It's clear why McKinnon works here and has for so many years.
Yeah.
He's incredible, in visual arts. Adam, is the worker. He knows everything, and he worked his way up from project manager to now he's the GM and, runs the day-to-day of Illusionist. So you got to have skill in business, you got to have desire, and you have to be really good at magic. Those 3 things.
Awesome. I think people will be enrolling in a business course and first thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jabbar Locker says, did you ever think that printing the first Black Tigers would have started this whole revolution of the custom
No,
playing card market?
no, absolutely not. It was so far. You guys who, are just gotten into magic in the past few years, you would have never dreamed, that a black deck, it was so far outside the box, truly. And I was shocked, frankly, that USPC accepted it, because they didn't accept everything, and because, I hung like this muscly tiger off of the B and the E in Bicycle, called them Bicycle Black Tigers. It was just unheard of. And for a company that was very conservative, they were really a monopoly in the playing card industry at that point, a behemoth. And, for them to accept, they wrote back to me and said, you know what, we really like this. And it's a striking deck, and we will allow it. And it shocked me. And from that point, we produced 5,000 decks and sold out in under 4 days.
That's
And it
crazy.
shocked me. And even then, I didn't think this is going to launch a whole playing card deal. It took us a while before we finally came out with what came next.
Ghost.
Yeah. And Ghost was because we came out with a Gaff Black Tiger deck. And one of them, we inverted the inversion. And that was Ghost.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you have to get to Ghost. You invert the inverted. And I'm like, oh my God, look at how beautiful that is. How delicate. We've got to do a whole deck of these. And the same thing with 1800s. We said, let's make one card in the Gaff deck completely old, like it aged. And then guys can do, some kind of aging trick, with a card, age it. And then I'm like, why don't we do a whole deck of this? This is incredible. So no, I never thought that it would. And it's grown and grown and grown to the point that it's almost an industry within an industry. And a huge percentage of Illusionist business is playing cards. It probably, it's a big category for us.
Yeah, it's huge. And I think that, like you said, there wouldn't be Kickstarters for new decks. There wouldn't be other playing card companies if it wasn't for that one Black Tiger deck. So it's crazy how that one decision spawned everything else.
It is. It completely is. And even now, with all the different companies that produce playing cards, we go through the end of the year, and here we are at the beginning of 2017, and I was talking with all the bigwigs over at USPC, and they said, once again, you're number one in our custom division, and not just by a little, but by a tremendous margin.
Yeah.
So they think they're a great partner to have, you know,
Yeah,
and we
definitely.
work
And
together.
we've tried as well. We've experimented, haven't we, with other companies and other printing
Hmm.
sources, and
Yeah,
USPCC are just the perfect fit for trying to get what we need in a deck.
yeah, yeah, completely.
Um, so talking about decks, Sebastian asks, are you planning on releasing Infinity 2? So a second version of the Infinity cards?
No,
Nope, nice and simple.
that's
What's
a
your
simple one.
favorite?
In order to release a version 2 of the deck, it has to do really well or be really hot, and then we might look at a second version of something, or in different colors or different styles. We're not going to go back 5 years to something that we did before necessarily, and do a different version of it, unless it continues to be a really hot selling deck, you
Yeah.
know, 5 years later.
What's your favorite card? Do you have a favorite card? What?
My favorite card is Three of Clubs,
Any particular reason?
because when I stood around the arcade magic and novelty shop, there was it was run by Harry and Sophie Smith, and Harry was in poor health at that point, but he was a card man to be reckoned with, and all of his teaching came down through, to different people, to me, and so, but Sophie Smith was like my mother in magic. She would not let me buy more than what she thought I could handle. I'd have to
Yeah.
go through and one book. I could get one book, and I'd have to master everything in that book and show it to her before she'd let me have, Di Vernon's whatever,
That's so good.
um, so anyway, her card was the Three of Clubs, and she was like, if ever anyone comes in and asks you to think of a card and they want to try to get me to, think of the Three of Clubs, and then that's the one I'm going to say. That's my favorite card.
Do you know what? My first Svengali deck ever was a Three of Clubs.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I bought one from Davenport's
Yeah,
magic shop in the UK
yeah,
back when I was 16. And I remember it because I took it everywhere. It was battered.
yeah.
And it was always the Three of Clubs. And I remember people used to say to me all the time, can you do a trick where it's not the Three of Clubs? And I'm like, nope,
I'm afraid not.
nope. Give me 10 years.
Yeah.
What's the favorite thing you've ever released on Illusionist? That's Dean Magic asks that on Instagram. Favorite thing in the last 15 years of releases? I'll give you two. I'll give you one of yours, and I'll give you one that's not yours.
I mean, one of my favorite things, because it holds so much nostalgic value, would have to be, how to do street magic.
Yeah,
For a long time, this website, Illusionist, started with only one product. That's all we had. We sold one product, period, for a long time. So that would have to be one. And then you're saying something that's
so, something that's not done by you, just another artist submission. Like an Invisible or a Masada rings or something.
um probably Pyro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam's gonna love you when he's watching this now. He'd be furiously commenting below. He'd be like, "Damn straight, Pyro. Damn straight."
Yeah.
Okay, Matt asks, "What's your favorite series on Netflix?" So away from Magic, what are
Mm.
you into at the moment?
So many. I just watched one called Nobel. I whipped through that. Fantastic. Incredible Norwegian mix of them being in Afghanistan, their special ops, and then back to Norway with his home life and his wife, and a lot of stuff going on there. That's incredible. Breaking Bad
Yeah,
is incredible. Um, Oh, I finally worked my way through frickin' Game of Thrones.
Oh no, I've never started. I might be the only person ever to not start.
I can't believe how much killing there was back in those days. I mean, I would have been terrified to live back in those days. You don't know when any character is going to buy the farm and be off.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so much killing. Every 5 minutes, you've got a new horrifying murder. In that day and age. You haven't watched it?
I've never seen it, but I remember someone said to me before, if you can't stomach to watch it with your parents or to eat during watching it, then you probably shouldn't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, every teenager knows that horrible moment when a sex scene comes on in a film, and you've got to or a documentary you've got to watch with your parents, and then
Yeah.
same thing for like someone's head just getting cut clean off. But I don't own a TV, so I watch very.
You watch a lot of Netflix.
I watch a lot of well, I don't even watch a lot. I watch Suits, and I watch Strange.
Been through the whole Suits thing. Pete loves Suits.
That just started again. It just started on Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah. There was one more episode just gone up. So it's on Amazon Prime for those who've got that. It just got loaded up. But yes,
I do have Prime. I discovered Prime. I mean, I've had Prime because I order from Amazon all the time, and I had no idea. They constantly put this movie crap in front of me, and I just thought, no thanks. But it comes with your membership.
Yeah.
So I finally downloaded the app, and I'm like, this is another Netflix.
Yeah, it's legit.
And they produce their own series stuff too. Incredible stuff on that.
Yeah, dive into Sneaky Pete. And the following.
I tried to watch Sneaky Pete. I couldn't. There was nothing I found that I liked about that kid.
Okay.
I didn't. If he's going to be a con man, let him at least be cool or something. I just did not like that guy. So that's me.
No, fair play. The Following's good as well. That's on there. So yeah, there's some amazing TV for everyone watching. The Following, Kevin Bacon. If you've never seen it, Brad.
Okay.
There's a lot of killing in that as well. It's about a serial killer's cult.
Mm.
Watch the first episode. It'll blow your mind. It's literally
The Following.
The Following, yeah, Kevin Bacon, and he doesn't do anything bad. So
okay.
Hot Dog Helicopter on Instagram. That's his username. He says, "Your idol?" ? So who is your idol?
Who's my idol?
Mm-hmm. Don't say me because I'm on the line.
Okay. And it can't be Adam.
Oh no, you've already complimented him with Pyro. You've already said Pyro, so no.
Who's my idol? My idol. Oh, I mean, if I have my idol would change. What?
Are you going to say Keith Sutherland?
No, that's Pete's idol. I do like Kiefer Sutherland a lot. He's a cool guy, but I think Conor McGregor is not my idol. However, I admire the guy for everything that comes through him. He is not a boring guy. Yeah. He's got the world's greatest confidence. He backs it up with talent. He's very interesting to watch and listen to. Incredibly articulate. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think I really have idols, but I do enjoy watching him.
Conor McGregor, the double champ, the two-way champ.
He is.
AAA Magic asks, cats or dogs? Which do you prefer?
I like both. I've had both, but cats right now. I've got 2 cats.
Called?
Maddie and Pantera.
Oh, okay. Not magic names then, like Double Lift and The Pass.
No.
What's your favorite kind of cheese?
Cambozola.
Nate asks, if you could only perform 3 effects for the rest of your life, what would they be?
It's so funny you say that because, part of the thing that I would get from Mrs. Smith was they would always say, you know 3 tricks inside and out.
Yeah.
Stop trying to learn too much. You're going to ruin it for yourself and you're going to be no good. Go out and learn 3 effects so you can do them in your sleep. So that you're so bored of them you can't stand it. Do it everywhere for everybody you possibly can. Anyway, and that is really good advice. What three tricks? The Ninja One routine
Yeah.
with the pass, showing a gambling expose. That would be one. Um, Two card Monty,
Oh, I love that
because
one.
that's what I'll whip out. I'll whip out two card Monty if someone says, "Oh, can you show us something?" And I'll be like, "Sure," and I'll just do two card Monty.
But a correction, by the way, just for there'll be people furious in the comments that if I've not said this, it's not two card Monty, it's Eddie Fetcher's. But wait, which one is it? So that's the official credit. People they'd be like, it's not two card Monty,
Okay,
because
all right.
I've said it as well. You saw that every time we've been together, I'll bust out two card Monty. If someone's
Yeah.
like, and people have remember that
Oh,
guy.
I've seen you do it on the street. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy threw money at me to do it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
Yeah, that and one that I have done a lot, and this is no big, technical anything. It involves the glide. Is it's one of the tricks in Royal Road to Card Magic, which is I think it's called Poker Face. I would do that a lot and get so much mileage out of it.
yeah,
So very entertaining trick. And I would also do three cards across from Royal Road to Card Magic.
that's
That
a
would be
great
one of my
trick.
big ones. I've done that for 1,000 people at a shot
Yeah,
and completely held them riveted. I've done it in nightclubs for 500 people. I've done it at birthday parties for kids, completely. So yeah.
Danny D'Ortiz has got a great three cards across.
You want to hear about speaking of like, and when I say my three tricks and one of them is the Ninja One routine, that actually got me fired once.
Ow.
I used to work for a company that would send you out. It's kind of like an agency.
Yeah,
They'd
yeah.
send you out for kids parties and this that. I'd take anything that I could get. When you're trying to make a living, you do. And they sent me out to a kids party, and it was all these boys who were like 7, 8 years old, and they were so all over the place. They all had they just attention deficit disorder, and yeah, there was nothing I could do to get their attention. And I finally, out of like desperation or whatever, said, do you guys want to see how they cheat at cards down in Las Vegas? And they all shut up. Yeah, and I busted out Ninja One, and they all gathered around me. They were as quiet as church mice. And I did a long routine explaining how they did this in Las Vegas and how you had to cut the cards without anybody seeing. And here, tell me if you can see it now, and the adults were watching, and they didn't like that I did anything to do with gambling for the kids, but it was the only thing that held their attention. You got to adapt
Yeah,
when you're in
yeah.
a show. And I instantly got fired from that agency. They're like, you know what? That was that. So Ninja One actually got me fired.
That's crazy. Do you
But it
regret
saved the
it?
show.
Yeah, yeah.
Saved the show to the audience.
Do you regret
Oh,
that?
here's Maddie. Maddie, look. Look right there. There you go.
Do you know what? Nate actually has a second great question, which is if you could only choose one illusionist deck for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
Ooh. Oh my gosh, for the rest of my life?
You can't pick up another deck.
Let me see. Definitely Illusionist deck, right?
Yep. Why would you pick another?
Well, I mean, like, down to like a regular bicycle deck, or, I'd probably pick maybe a ghost deck.
Yeah. Are they the new? They're the new legacies, are they? Yeah.
That's the new legacy. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oban reworked them. They're great. Maybe that, or this is another one I really, really like that I would think of is the dealers.
Yeah.
I love the back.
Are you
Very,
saying
very.
bordered dealers or borderless?
What have I got here?
I think they're borderless. Sorry.
Yeah, these are borderless. Yeah. I love the back design of those. Very subtle, very beautiful.